Basics Part B. I will use this part to help you solve the two PHP questions in Project 2, Question 4 and Question 5. I will use 4 video sequence, 4, including explain the background theory, everything we need to use. But for Question 4, we only need 1 video, because at this point we have learned everything we need for Question 4. We only need to put things together. And here I use one example. The example I used twice before, Duke example. So remember that Duke example. Duke example I used twice before. The first time, show you the JavaScript, the plain simple JavaScript function call. That's the first version. Second version, remember the Ajax, right? Yeah, Ajax version. Yeah. So that's another interesting version. jQuery call Ajax. That's the second version. Now I want to use the third version, PHP version. Submit user's input as an HTML form to the backend PHP file for processing. Then return result and using a session variable. This is the third version. Yeah. And another version. Version number 4, I also use this one to do a similar example for your Question 5. Question 5, database. I still use this example. Okay? Yeah. So you can see this simple example is very useful. Yeah. All right, so let's start the Duke example. Yeah. I just go through, explain my example line by line here. After that, I run the demo. And in my zip file, I will also post examples 6b.zip. Yeah. At the end, I will zip all my examples in that folder and give it to you. Yeah. So you can study. You can use that, modify to get your, project questions. All right, so when we start, first, interface, duke.php. We will use 2 files. The first one, the interface part, okay? User's interface, yeah. PHP. Yeah. So this one is not HTML because later we need to display the return result from PHP session variable. So we need to use PHP features. So that's why we make this duke.php. All right. So in this example, first, we need to start session, PHP session. Remember, when the backend processing file send the result back, we still use the same duke.php. But this time, we need to read the data from the session variable and display it. For that purpose, we need to add the first line, session_start, to make this page join the PHP session. Otherwise, you cannot. The reason I explained last time. So here I do not explain it. So we need to put this line. Okay. After that, now look at this part. Because the return result is stored in this session variable. Okay. Session, this is super global. We know this, right? This expression, we know the PHP super global. All right, yeah. We store the return result as a, associative array. Yeah. But at the beginning, when we show this page, there is nothing there, right? Think about the first time you display this page nothing in this session variable. When that happens, how should you handle that situation, right? So for that reason, I call this function isSet function. Yeah. So that is useful. First, we want to check if this session variable is set or not. If it is set, then this function returns true. We know, oh, it is set. So we can comfortably retrieve the value from that session variable. But it's possible it is not set, so else, then we put empty string in our message variable. All right, so here I use message variable. $MSG, my message variable. Okay, if it is set, there is some value, okay, valid string value in that session variable, so we retrieve it, copy, put in this $MSG. Else, it is not set, empty string, $MSG empty string. Yeah, so you can see this part is simple, but it is quite useful. So we need it. We need this feature. Now, all right, so next. Now it is our HTML form. Okay? We need to use this form to collect users' data and send to the back-end processing file. Right? Action process.php. So this is the back-end processing, data processing file. Okay? Yeah. So you can find it in my folder, process.php. Yeah. We use the post method. Yeah. So you know why we use post method, right? We talked about that before. Okay. Here we use the post method. Yeah. The data, we send it as a HTTP request parameter. The data we send, HTTP request parameter. Okay. So we know that. So this time, this username, this name attribute tells we want to send a parameter. It is called the user's username. All right. The value here, we do not see the value, right? We do not see the value. The user entered the input. Value equals, what is the value? So we don't know. So we expect the user type the input value there. All right. After that, we have a submit button. Okay. You can see the type is submit, not button. Remember, in our JavaScript version, the type is button. Here, we do not use that button. Yeah. Because the button, usually, it connects to a JavaScript function. Here, we do not want this button connect to a JavaScript function. So we want this button submit a form. Okay. So that's why we need to use the submit type. All right. So that's it. So that is the form part. All right. Yeah. Right. Now you can imagine the user click this button, submit data to the back-end PHP data processing file. Yeah. Next slide, we will look at the process.php. Yeah. All right. Now we need to imagine the process.php. After data processing, it will return the request to this page another time. Okay, so we call the redirect. Remember, I have one video talking about redirect page topic. Remember? Yeah. So we have one redirect page topic. Okay. So this page will be redirected when the result is available. Okay. All right. So we will. When it returns, we are here. We display the hello message, right? Remember hello message. But hello message, when it is returned, this session variable is set. It contains a valid message there. Right? Yeah. So we copy the value to that $MSG. So here we just display using this print $MSG. So we see the value. All right? Okay, yeah. So we complete. Yeah. But there is the last thing to do. Okay. After this line, there is another small detail you need to consider. Yeah. Think about when we store a message in a session variable, it stays there for quite some time. There is a duration. Yeah. So there is a default duration. Here, we do not set the duration. The default duration could be 30 minutes, could be longer than that. Yeah. Could be longer than that. Yeah. Takes a while. Yeah. All right. But we don't want to see, because after we show the message, we don't want the second time, if nobody enter any input, we still see the old message. We don't want to see that, right? Yeah. Because if the session variable stores the old value, the next time someone just refresh the page, the user does not enter anything in the input field, just to refresh the page, you still see the older message. That's not good. So we don't want to see that happen. Okay? In order to stop that, phenomenon, stop that, we need to add one line. Okay? Session onset. So this function onset all the session variables stored in the super global's $_session. Unset it. Gone. So clear. Okay? Yeah. Clear. All the old variables stored there. Unset. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. So then the user refreshes the whole page. Nothing there. So that's good. Okay? So that's what we want to see. Yeah. So look at this last step. All right, so next, our backend data processing file. So very simple. Yeah. So let me show you. Next page. Process.php. First, we need to start a session. Okay. Yeah. After that, we need to retrieve data parameter value stored in the post super global, right? Yeah. But we need to use the filter. Okay? Filter underscore input. Yeah. For security reason. Yeah. All right. So this is the way we use to filter the input data. Yeah. So we put in this $uname variable. Yeah. After that, then I want to do a little thing. Yeah. Because the user may not enter anything. Yeah. So empty, submit empty form. That could happen. Yeah. So I want to detect it. Yeah. I use a string length. So this is a PHP function. Just give us the string length. How many characters in this string? String length function. Okay. String length. So this string, how many characters? If the number of characters is greater than 0, that means non-empty. Yeah. So this input data is non-empty, then we can use it. Okay. Otherwise, if it's empty, yeah. So then we make our message. Okay. Return message. Hello, comma, then this username. Otherwise, if it's empty, then we should put some error message, right? Here I just put no input. Okay, yeah, no input. Just make some difference. Yeah. Then I store in a session variable. So this is the way I store in a session variable. See, so simple. Yeah, assign to that session variable. That's it. Yeah. At the end, redirect page. Remember the redirect page using the header function. Header and the location, colon. The PHP file name, duke.php. So that's how we return, okay, the request to another PHP page. Yeah. then it's done. Okay, then it's done. So you'll see the result. Okay, all right. So now let me show you the demo. Now, so it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But here I just show you. So you can see. All right, so I start my NetBeans. So all the files I put here. So I will give you all the files you need for this part. Here, let me find the duke.php. Okay, I select duke.php. I just run it. Okay, run. Then you see in my default browser, here, right? All right. So hello, I enter PHP, submit. You see, hello PHP, right? Now you can see if I submit another time empty, right? Oh, first I show you one thing. Before I submit empty input, I show you one thing. I refresh the page. The same page, I refresh it. I don't want to see this old message another time. Okay? So that's why we use that onset. Refresh it, nothing, because we unset all old variables stored in session super global. Okay, all right. Then when I submit empty string, you see no input. That's it. See, So that's all we need. Now I want to talk about question 4. Then it's very easy, right? Question 4, you have one input field. You expect the user enter a sequence of keywords separated by comma. Okay? Comma. Okay? Then submit button. So you can use submit button, but your submit button you can call search. Okay? If usually you want to make it look like a search operation. Okay? But it's not that important. But it's a submit button, submit form. Okay? Then the backend processing file, so retrieve the input string using the filter way, right? Filter function, filter way. After you retrieve it, can you break it into string array using explode function? Explode function, right? Okay, Make it a string array. After that, can you apply sort function to sort it? Okay, After you sort it, can you use a for loop to create a page, concatenate all the keywords in the sorted array? It's pretty easy, right? Straightforward, but one string containing all the keywords. After that, can you store it in a session variable? Right? After that, can you use the header function to redirect the page back to this interface, the first PHP interface page, right? After that, can you display it in the, search field, right? After you display it, can you unset that session variable so that if the user refresh the page, we do not see it again, right? So you can see our question 4, it is very close to this Duke example. So you can make the modification pretty straightforward way. You can make it. Okay, so that's why I want to use this example to guide you easily get that question 4. All right, so let me finish this video and we will use 3 more videos for question 5 because that one we need to use the database. All right.